The final of the lightweight women's single sculls, won for the past 2 years by Switzerland's Pamela Weishaupt, and before her by Dutch star and Olympic champion Marit van Eupen. Over in lane 1, America's Julie Nichols, fourth 2 years ago and hoping to emulate Sarah Garner, the last US sculler to win this 13 years ago in Aigues-Ballette. Next, Sweden's Sara Karlsson from fashionable Stromstad, fourth in this year's Europeans and inspired inevitably by yesterday's incredible single sculls victory of teammate Frida Svensson. In 23-year-old Louise Ayling from Invercargill, who really grafted through the New Zealand winter to regain her place in the Kiwi elite squad. Next, Marie-Louise Draeger, who just yesterday stroked the German lightweight quad to gold and is now looking to add this world title to her European crown. To her left, last year's world silver medalist, Italy's Laura Milani from Milan, runner-up to Marie-Louise in this season's Europeans. And closest to you, Fabiana Beltrame from Brazil's high life city of Floripa, more relevantly third, less than 5 seconds behind Marie-Louise on the Rutse last July.
Well, all the scullers got off almost in unison there. I think Draeger actually on the second and third strokes, he managed to pull a little bit out on Louise Ayling next to her. What a fantastic tribute to her recovery between the quadruple sculls race yesterday. You see Draeger there, she looks so good, really locking on low down as she accelerates that yellow end packer shell away. And a brilliant start for her. Let's have a look at the wide shot as we see. Yeah, well, half a length already, David.
Well, I just wonder, Martin, whether she was looking at Frida Svensson's video from yesterday from the heavyweight single sculls, because Draeger with more than half a length over Louise Ayling in what I have to say are the best conditions of the week. A little bit of headwind, but other than that, perfect.
They are beautiful conditions. Looking at the Kiwi sculler, Louise Ayling, she's had a look for Draeger there. I think the big difference you'll see between these two scullers is how much Draeger lets the boat run as she comes out to the front stops. She's a little bit longer in her stroke length than Ayling. Ayling is very direct and very punchy, but it's that extra length that Draeger's got which really takes her out.
On the near side, you've got Beltrame from Brazil, who was third to Draeger in the Lucerne Regatta on the Rutse. Pretty experienced, Beltrame.
Yeah, Beltrame, she's got all those experiences in heavyweight women's singles. She's raced in Beijing, she's raced in Athens, been out of her depth in those events, got through on the continental qualification. I think this is really her kind of event, lightweight women's singles. Unfortunately, it's not an Olympic event, but in third place at the moment.
So closest to you, Beltrame, then two away in the blue for Italy. That's Milani who's trailing. Then we get to Draeger, Ayling, Sara Karlsson on the far side, Julie Nichols for the United States. But it's all about 29-year-old Marie-Louise Draeger from Lübeck and Rostock, who, coming to the end of the first quarter, has got open water and heading for that second gold medal already.
It's hard to see with a sculler of that class how anyone is going to catch the bow of number 4. Draeger, coached by Angie Nowak, who was a competitor here herself when the championships were last on Lake Carapiro in 1978. And just amazing dynamism. I mean, she's so long, she's so fluid, David.
She's pretty well got a length over Louise Ayling. Louise, who struggled in the early part of the year to get into the squad for Europe. In fact, she didn't make it, and then really worked with Donald McDonald throughout the New Zealand winter. And this is her reward, a chance now to go for a World Championship medal.
Well, it is, and she was great in the first heat. She beat Miliani and Beltrame to take that first heat, go straight through to the final. But at the moment, though she finished in the same time as Draeger, she's not in the same race. Well, nobody's in the same race as Draeger. Looking at Miliani there, but Draeger's well out in front of her. 35 strokes a minute, Draeger's down at 32.5.
Yeah, Milani, who I think I said was runner-up to Draeger, actually she was third in Portugal, but she has quickened up, as you can see here, and got herself a little bit more in the race there, certainly with Ayling, but she was some 10 seconds behind Draeger in Portugal at the European. So on paper, at least, she's got quite a lot to do, but she is pushing in towards the silver medal, and Beltrame also toughing it out on the near side.
I would think Louise Ayling, in terms of her performance, has got to worry. She led her heat all the way through, very strong through the third and the second 500 metres. But so far, she's let the Brazilian and the Italian get away from her. That's an awful lot of work to do if she is going to challenge for a silver or bronze medal. So we were looking for some magic, some fireworks from Louise Ayling as the Carapiro roar comes into effect in the last half of the race.
But this is the end of the first 1,000 metres, and you can see Drager's pulled out even more on the near side. Beltrame having a great fight there with Milani at the moment for silver and bronze. Louise Ayling in fourth place there, and Sarah Carlson and Julie Nichols of Sweden and the United States. I'm afraid they're out of this. And there is Louise Ayling on the far side there, still very steady. And Drager, well, it's just a procession.
It is a procession. If you look at it from the front, there's Drager. I really like the way she's locked on. I think uses those big muscles in her lower back and her legs, just getting the glutes locked on to make that boat smoothly sink through the water.
Well, she absolutely is a class act. I mean, already in her career, world champion in 2003, 2005 in the lightweight double, so close to a medal in Beijing. But she is leading this, and it's going to be really hard to catch her now. It's all, I think, Martin, about the silver and bronze. Milani in the blue of Italy, Ayling there for New Zealand, and you can just see the bow on the left-hand side there of Beltrame of Brazil. Would be good if Brazil could get a medal.
Absolutely brilliant, and just reward, I think, for a real trooper in terms of the sport in the service. But Ayling there, while she's not got the same length forward as Drager, she's had another look at Milani there. She is very dynamic, and this is her territory in the third 500 metres. She expects the roar to the crowd to add something to her, and at the moment she's kept a very high stroke rate, very high cadence of striking. Not the longest sculler, but she's very dynamic, and that is going to give us something, I think, a platform to move on from.
Yeah, Laura Milani through the second quarter, very much the quickest, 1:56.41, ahead even of Marie-Louise Drager, but she's so much in command now. And just reflecting on the Brazilian as we come to the last quarter of the race, twice she's represented her country in the Olympic Games in the single sculls. Not quite out of this, as you can see. She's right on the near side, and there it is, Italy in silver, Brazil in bronze, Louise Ayling. This is where she really has to find something in this last 500 metres, but surely this is going to be a second gold medal for Marie-Louise Drager.
Drager's going to be enjoying it, but you know, one argument says that she should be here in a double scull in the boat. She's going to try and make it for the London Olympic Games, but at the moment she's just focused on the race. And Ayling, well, what a dynamic surge through, another look across. She's going for that bronze medal if she can make it from Milani, probably through the Brazilian at this stage, David.
Yeah, Milani, who's been so near to a gold medal on many occasions, both at European standard and also under 23s, but now getting taken on to her left and to her right. Beltrame in the foreground for Brazil, then Milani, then on the far side Louise Ayling, and now Louise Ayling, she's going to get this roar of the Kiwi crowd, which seems to count for about a length.
Yeah, Beltrame's just desperately hanging on there with the last 250 metres to go. I think Milani's kept her form very well. It's going to be really hard for Ayling to get through, but every stroke there's just a centimetre of gain there.
And the crowd, they are on their feet trying to lift Louise Ayling, and lifting her they are, because Ayling is coming up now to Laura Milani, and they are bow to bow. Drager going for gold, and Louise Ayling's, well, she's not quite there, she's almost there. Now she's there in silver.
Milani's doing ever so well, but she's got to find something extra. Ayling beat her in the heat. Will she beat her again in the final? Milani answers her, and Beltrame.
Beltrame, fantastic, trying to raise the game there. On the far side, New Zealand. In the middle, it's Italy. Closest to you, it's Brazil. Drager's almost at the line. She gets the gold. Who gets the silver? Who gets the bronze? It's Ayling who gets the silver. Milani the bronze. Beltrame just a whisker behind. What a race.
Yeah, what a fantastic race. Maybe fantastic two races. Well, three, as we see Sweden and America cross the line. Drager out in front. She was on her own. Tremendous performance. Shakes her fist there. Great performance with Angie Nowak, her coach, ever so pleased. Now she's got to find a double sculls partner, but Louise Ayling, really class act to come through and take that silver and bronze race ahead of Milani, the Italian. Shame the Brazilian was out of it.
So a second gold medal for the fast-starting Marie-Louise Drager. Louise Ayling lifted by the home crowd, swooshing first past Fabiana Beltrame of Brazil, and then Laura Milani of Italy in a last quarter of 1:55.44 to earn herself the silver medal. for Marie-Louise, even after such a successful campaign down under here in Carapiro. Surely she will now focus all of her energy on trying to secure an Olympic medal in 2012, particularly having come within 400